Kraid has some fun reactions to other items. I don't want to spoil exactly what they are, though, because I don't want to spoil the order that we get power-ups, or exactly what the next power-ups are. But I will say that one of them lets you jump right into his mouth to start the grab sequence early. And by grab sequence, I mean counter. That's what they call them, but not all of them involve grab, so I personally just prefer to call them, like, counter sequence. And so, yeah, now we can actually break that, and we are all the way over here now. Back in this area we lit up before, and now we can use the wide beam to get through here, and use our Varia suits to not die in here. And yes, this is indeed the area. So, I think right here, yeah, if you shoot the floor, you can access this area right here that is a back door into getting a certain power-up. You need to do a tricky wall jump out of a slide. It's again, kind of tricky. You can do the exact same maneuver in here to get this energy part, and I almost feel like that's actually what they intended, like, that's actually how they intended to teach you how to do the sequence break. By kind of, requiring it for that, well, not requiring it, but, like, letting you, get the energy part via that. You can also get that energy part via tanking lava damage, or waiting until you get the upgrade that blocks lava. There's often a lot of different solutions to puzzles in this game.
Uploading data.
Especially when we get a certain item later.
This area, Gyrin, appears to be a biological research laboratory. You have already reactivated one generator in this area. There is another sector above you still suffering from the blackout. Find the next generator and reactivate it. You are slowly recovering your abilities. I have still not established what happened to you physically. Don't let your guard down. Your primary objective is to survive. Proceed with the utmost care.
I was gonna say, like, oh yeah, who says Adam doesn't care for Samus or anything, but, it's not getting to that controversy. So these things, okay, yeah, these things have the fastest counter that we've seen so far. But once you get used to their timing, the timing of slow counters becomes, well, tricky to do by comparison. Yeah, gotta get through here kind of quickly because that's annoying. And guess what? We're gonna have to deal with our friend, EMMI number 4 Sonic Battle, as I like to call him. Okay, so we're about to... In fact, I think... Okay, we can shoot that out. The problem here is that the EMMI is very, very close. I'm gonna... Yeah, this is why I don't like trying to sneak around these guys with the Phantom Cloak. Because it just really heavily neuters your jumping power. Oh, it's already draining me. But I have a safe exit of the EMMI room now. And, yes, into a dead end. So let's not go this way. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to activate the... Stupid Phantom Cloak doesn't let me jump up there. Okay, so... Yeah, if I do that, I can take that thing out early. So those mines on the floor, you either need to Phantom Cloak past them, or shoot them in advance, because otherwise their explosion will alert this EMMI. That one knocked me right back into it, didn't it? Okay, countered it, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to hide from it now, because I have to hide. No, I can get through these doors. Good, right. Yeah, there's another one of them. So yeah, you shoot them in advance, or you, Phantom Cloak past them. Oh, these things. Yeah, you can counter them, but I don't really find that all that useful. And here we actually cannot do anything yet. And this is a section of the game that I'm a little bit less familiar with because I did the sequence break the most recent time that I finished this. Okay, probably wouldn't have died even if I hadn't got the counter there, but sometimes there's a little bit of lenience with counters, but not always. Inactive map room. Can't quite shoot that. Oh, I remember what this room is. Yeah, this room is actually kind of interesting. You'll see why in a moment. I'll just blow that open before doing this. Reactivate power. And then we'll see the reason why that room is so interesting. Because now that we've activated the power, that is now a cold room, so we can't really go back in there without severe hurt. And that, okay, yeah, those enemies, I really, really don't like those enemies down there. They are a severe pain, and I would rather avoid them if I can. And missile through here, though. To get more ball bombs. We now finally have a method of attacking in ball form. And this is something you can get before Kraid that makes Kraid easier. If you have not seen how these bombs make beating Kraid easier, then, well, you're in for a treat. And here, yeah, the bombs what destroy these purple blocks. And now I can access these purple boost tubes, which we can go back there and access that one now. So there is a counter on those things, but I'm not going to go for it here because if I miss the counter, there is a very, very large chance that I will just immediately die because they do a lot of damage. And, okay, look at that big thing getting tortured constantly. Wouldn't want to be that thing right now. Yeah, I'm just going to dodge past that. I don't like those. And this, yeah, that's another save room. And this will lead us back into the EMMI zone. And I'm getting out of the EMMI zone right now because that is an explosion and that's going to lure it. Okay, Phantom Cloak on. Just to be careful. Yep, it's above us. Which is... yeah, see this thing... if I have the Phantom Cloak on, I can walk over it without tripping it. Now, I would not like to get killed by one of these hover robots, because that would just be really, really silly. Oh, there's a thing there. But this lets us get out of this room. Oh, I know where we are now. Yeah, okay, so this area has those spike things. And then these have a kind of tricky to time counter sometimes. They move backwards before they do the counter attack, so you'll need to be aware of that. And yes, the spikes do travel through water. They don't seem to lose any momentum traveling through water either. There are some things that you can do that do actually get affected if you do them while you're underwater. Not just in terms of mobility, but firing certain types of missiles when you're submerged in certain liquids can actually change their properties. Something that people didn't really discover about this game for a little while. But yeah, we're now leaving Dyron and heading into a new area, Berenia. I love this sort of stormy sea entrance to this place. So this is Berenia, this game's water world. It's thankfully not too bad of a water level, but it is actually relatively small when it comes to the other zones of this game, but it can still be annoying sometimes. So yeah, right here, we can't do anything because this fan is pushing us back, but I wouldn't want to go through there anyway. And right there, if you have an item that lets you break those things now, you can skip most of this underwater section. So again, yet more bonuses for getting particular things early. Okay, there's a floating thing down there that we'll need to destroy the water level to... destroy the water level, that's a weird statement, but yeah, we'll need to lower the, or raise the water level to change that thing. And yeah, while underwater, you jump kind of like molasses. Those things there will try and pull you in. There's like another one here, and I really should be using missiles more often. I don't think we can quite reach up there, so we have to morph all our way through here, but yeah. Again, we could have skipped this entire underwater obstacle course if we had a certain item already. Oh no, I know what's coming. These crystal things right here, I do not like them at all. They do a lot of damage if they hit you, and they take a huge amount of punishment right now, and yeah, that laser right there. They'll also be ready to activate their laser, like, right in your face if you move any further forward. Oh, and of course, they put a spike guy right after it. Yeah, we'll be seeing a few more of those crystal enemies, and I just... they're a pain. So we can't really do much here right now, but you might want to remember this room for later. And yet another mandatory Adam check-in. Pretty much all of these are mandatory.
Uploading data.
The lower levels of Berenia are mostly submerged. You will need your gravity suit to operate there at full efficiency.
See, it's this that makes me just think that, like, there's a lot of people who play in this game's community who treat the existence of the gravity suit like a spoiler, and it's told to you at, like, this point.
Abilities such as the Grapple Beam or Space Jump will help you maneuver underwater to an extent. Find them as soon as possible.
So, one of those two abilities you can potentially have now, although his dialogue doesn't change, unfortunately. And the other one is not for quite some time. Oh, that thing. Okay, right. I'm gonna have to go quiet for a moment. Those little bugs that it spits out actually chew through your health incredibly quickly. So, you want to get that counter on it as soon as you can. Now here's something that we can't really deal with, these little green lights in the wall. I feel like there's maybe an upgrade in there. Like a missile tank or something, but not going to go and check for it because this is a 0%. Ow. Yep, those spikes are a pain. What is also somewhat of a pain is how slow Samus climbs. That, speaking of which, that is just, I was speaking of, like, tanks that I don't need earlier. That's one. Okay, now that we have bombs, though, we can actually set some traps for those things in advance, and they actually make for really good energy and missile farming. In fact, they're probably the equivalent to the 2D Metroid game's pipes, like the enemies that come out of the pipes that people often use for farming. Another one of you. Okay, good, dead. And here, can't go that way because the moment, well, I mean, okay, technically there is, I think, a way that you can actually get past that before you're sort of required to, but anyway. Now, if you're playing like a regular run, I would highly recommend grabbing that energy tank right now, but as I can't take that right now, come on, get back here so you can die. There we go. And got back to full missiles already. This, I believe, is, yeah, it's just a save room. In fact, I should probably take this save right now. And counter. And another thing we can't get, well, again, we're not supposed to get through, but there are ways you can shenanigans your way through those right now, and that skips a little bit of this section. Oh, no, one of these things. Does seem like the melee counter works decently against them, though, but they are annoyingly persistent. There we go, killed that thing. Those are one of my least favorite enemy types in the entire game in a challenge run. They are incredibly brutal to deal with. Because, yeah, those little guys they summon just eat through your health like nobody's business. And you can actually get that Missile Tank Plus there if you maneuver yourself just right, but you're sort of, like, you can easily come back for that one later. Because, yeah, all of these underwater sections will become a lot easier to navigate once we get more items. This is just kind of the teaser of underwater action. We'll be coming back to Berenia for real a few more times. This is just sort of the preview. Okay, so through here, that'll open up that formerly one-way passage, but not much we can really do here right now. Again, you may want to remember this area for later, though. You might also want to remember that teleporter, because it's the key to a sequence break later on. But here we can go up through here, and, yeah, see, again, like, these things are really good for farming. And destroy this, and in here, we have something interesting. Something that we'll be relying on a lot the later we go into the game. Flash Shift. So at first you may think this is a poor man's speed booster, but it's not. It has its own applications. This lets you press the A button and tilt a direction to do a dash maneuver in that direction. You can also dash multiple times, and you can dash both on the ground and in the air. Once you stop dashing though, you'll lose all of your Aeon, and you'll need to wait for it to recharge again. So, like, look at this, just we can do that, we can do that, and that's what we use to get past those pressure plates. Just waiting for you, and then we can dash all the way over there, and then we can kill you because nobody likes you. We can dash over the water. Oh no, double spike. Yep, I believe I actually saw a spike coming at me from all the way over there. Yeah, these guys are frustrating. But here, we can go zoom through there. And here's the problem. I feel like you're supposed to discover this problem now. You can't flash shift underwater. Not without special additional equipment. So that's a pain. Yeah, so the flash shift. You will want to remember that you have this because a lot of bosses from now on, flash shifting is the best way to dodge a lot of their attacks. Even once we get better mobility tools, you really do not want to forget the flash shift. It's actually an incredibly important part of your arsenal against bosses, especially, you know, when you're doing a challenge like this. So here's something. If you are fast, you can actually grab that missile tank before the water gets up to it, but if you're too slow and the water does fully envelop it, then you will need to come back here with the gravity suit in order to get that. And here too, I'm not actually really sure what the point of all of that was. Again, there may be something up there. I have only done one full 100% run of this game, so I don't fully remember where everything is. But I do remember where a lot of things are. Yeah, see, now this has moved downwards. And we can get in here to reach yet another transporter. And that will end our temporary trip through through Berenia. We actually did explore a decent amount of Berenia for that point, but sadly, yes, it is time to leave for now until we come back with more abilities. I also just realized that I didn't double back and get that map station in Dyron after I turned on the power. Probably should have done that, but like I don't really find Dyron to be particularly hard to navigate overall. At this point, we are getting very close to when we are definitely able to finally take down that annoying EMMI that thinks we're too slow. So back in Dyron, and we are, yeah, down here. And in fact, we're getting close to the central unit. Oh, one of you again. Yeah, if we can do that now. Of course, it's not going to get us the whole way across, but it will get us some of the way. I do not like this. I would rather be in the EMMI zone. Oh! I would not rather be in the EMMI zone. Did not expect it to be that close. Okay, slowly creeping through here. It can kind of see me now. Wall jump up. Oh, there's a bomb there. Let's just destroy that bomb. Can't go that way. Can flash shift here. Oh no, this is the trap, isn't it? Yeah, that's a trap, yeah. So, I remember that from an earlier playthrough. That area right there is definitely a... That was also a trap. And that's a charge beam door. Oh, actually counted on the needle point. That is very rare. Don't, get your hopes up, though. You will usually not be able to do that. And I'm probably sure people who are like incredibly pro at this game can consistently get that, but we are into this room, which means we'll soon be able to get our revenge. Still only a single gun turret here, but that doesn't mean that we can relax. They do a decent amount of damage. Like that. But I can get more energy from these if they would... Yeah, there we go. Drop some. Okay, and now that this thing is freed from its armored casing, I can explode its brain by shooting it repeatedly, which I have, like, found out from a few other runs that, yeah, that actually does do a much better job than charge shots or missiles. Yeah, we can skip that. It's basically the same as it always is. And now, finally time for some satisfaction. I mean, this EMMI usually doesn't get me as much as it has in this playthrough, which is kind of weird, but... Okay, so here, this thing, I feel like it benefits from you planning out your angle of attack, because this one's kind of unique because of its speed. You have to keep the Omega Stream on it to slow it down. Now, where is it? There it is. I don't think I'm going to have enough space. But yeah, as long as you have the Omega Stream on it, it does get slowed. That's not far enough. Yeah, sometimes about these things, it's kind of about picking your battles. If I can get it, that's too much over there. I may be able to get it here. Just the moment that you okay, good. I'm just gonna be better safe than sorry. Where'd it go? It's there, okay. Okay, it's heading up. Ah! Up, and there we go, dead. Good. No more rings for you. And with that, we get one of the most fun power-ups in the entire Metroid series. The Speed Booster. I have wanted the Speed Booster to be in a 3D Metroid game for a long time, and technically it was in Other M, but yeah, that doesn't really count. This isn't really a 3D Metroid game, but still. So with this, you have to click the left analog stick to use it. This is one of the most complicated power-ups in the game, and in fact, this tutorial doesn't really explain everything that the Speed Booster can do. So, you have to click the left analog stick, then run, and then you continue running, and you'll be able to smash these blocks. You can also jump while speed boosting, and you'll still count as a speed booster and break those blocks. And while you are in speed boost mode, you can press down to store the charge, then press the jump button and tilt a direction to use a Shine Spark. I don't know why the Shine Spark is not, like, in Samus' Smash Bros. Moveset by this point, honestly. So, the first thing that they make us do with this is, yeah, it's up the top here, actually. I don't normally fight this EMMI so low down. I was just kind of trying to be safe this time. But if we... Okay, yeah, here we go. Here's a long straight way. So... Ready, and this is extremely fun. I love this. So yeah, if you do that, you can, like, you will, still keep your speed booster charge. But here's something interesting. So if I can demo this here... Okay, do that, store it. Okay, I did actually successfully, get the charge continuing there, except that I got caught on stuff. So I want to clear this area out of enemies first and then try this. I just wanted to show this though, because I just think this is kind of cool. So if we start speed boosting here... Actually, wait, no, I can show off another facet that the game's tutorial doesn't explain to you here. So yes. This is only on loading screen tips, but you can wall jump and slide, and it will still retain your speed booster charge. You will need to know that to get certain expansions later on. In fact, there is an expansion in here that if you do a very carefully if you're very good about controlling your Shine Spark, you are able to get at this point. So yeah, I just wanted to show that off before leaving because, again, like, the only things that can potentially tell you about that are random loading screen tips. And, you know, those aren't always, like... And this game loads so fast that you'll not really see those on screen for very long. I love how that gets its own, like, quasi-cutscene. And also, yeah, there's some more speed booster blocks here. Yep, didn't quite have enough to make that. I think, yeah, you can actually wall jump in here, yeah, through there. And there's something in there that I don't think we can get yet. And break through that. Oh, okay, I mean, technically speaking, we could Shine Spark here, but... Oh no, you are not killing me just after, I beat that EMMI. Okay, yeah, so here... I don't know if Shine Spark is really the best. Yeah, I can't quite do that. I think a speed boosted jump is a better way of breaking through that. Can we do it from here? Just barely. And we actually can't progress in that direction yet, but where we're supposed to go is that yellow teleporter. Of course, if you were sequence breaking earlier, you actually will have got where they're funneling us, the item they're funneling us towards, you will have already got that if you have engaged in sequence breaking earlier on. Oh, great, okay. Right, that. I'm gonna have to go back and hit that save point now, because I don't want to risk accidentally getting that and having to reload a save. Okay, I think I know how to do this now. I've practiced a little. So it looks like you have to stand as far on the edge of this platform as you can, without falling off, that is. Just nudge Samus a little bit, and then flash shift across. Okay, there. So it seems like Samus's hitbox either disappears entirely or shrinks a lot in the middle of her flash shift animation, and that lets you go right over those, well, expansions. So, where we're headed is back to Artaria, and we'll be going through its EMMI zone and breaking through some speed boost blocks. Again, this is another section of the game that I'm not super familiar with because I generally get this power up early. And as you can see here, there is a wide beam cover that we can break through and open this direction. And now, okay, so yeah, we need to break those speed booster blocks right there. So I need to find a good straight way to start. Hey, remember when those things were actually a threat? To start boosting. Remember when you were actually a threat? In fact, you still are, apparently. And apparently that one didn't work. Oh, okay, so from here I should have enough room. Yeah, just barely enough room. And that's always fun. So yeah, through here we have another save room. And I know exactly where we are, just need to drop down here. Hi there. Bye there. Break through that. I see you up there, diving thing. And we get the Grapple Beam. I like the way this power-up looks like in its, when the Chozo statue's holding it. Speaking of which, yeah, Chozo originally, it's Japanese literally for bird statue. So it originally just referred to the statues, but now it refers to the species because people mistook it. Anyway, so the Grapple Beam is actually a little awkward in this game. You have to hold down ZR and then potentially also L to aim and fire the Grapple Beam. Once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad, but it can be awkward, especially if you're jumping and using swing points. So this is one use of the Grapple Beam, pulling these things, which often create one-way passages. You can pull these doors to open them, and then we can get rid of you. And now here, aim and swing across. Swing can be a little bit awkward sometimes, but you don't need to do it that often. But one thing that I do actually really love about the Grapple Beam, and if you're really good, you can do this while running, is you can actually grapple onto spider magnet surfaces. This is a great use of the Grapple Beam, and something that, if they continue this series, and I'm sure they will, that I really hope they keep up, because it's a cool use of this item. So this is actually going to lead us back to Dyron, and this is the elevator that has a back entrance into it, if you go through that hot room early with a carefully placed wall jump. Unless I need time to talk, I feel like I'm just going to cut out the elevator and teleport segments from now on. I mean, there's really not much to see there. So, if we break through this, then, oh yeah, I think there's a power-up in here if you grapple up and then do that, yeah. In fact, that's a power-up that we're not supposed to know about yet. But as you can see, that there is one way. That's this secret back way into this elevator to get the Grapple Beam early. And that's also really fun. So now what we need to do is actually we don't have much of a distance to travel. We just need to get through here and go up here. Yeah, we were here just a little bit ago where we couldn't get any further thanks to this grapple. Sometimes knowing where you can and can't grapple from is required to get past obstacles. And I know which section of the game we're making our way into. So coming up is a new area and a pretty long cutscene, but also another very challenging boss for a low percent run. Kind of looking forward to showing this fight. Though there's a significant chance that I might get destroyed a few times. It's kind of rough on low percent. Mostly because it has only one attack that's counterable, and that attack is also a one-shot, so sometimes it might not be worth the risk to go for the counter. Oh, and he's all the way up there already. Okay, so these things on the floor, you either shoot them in advance, or you phantom cloak past them. Because otherwise, their explosion will alert the EMMI, and oh crap. I already alerted it, okay. But yes, their explosion will alert the EMMI otherwise. Whoop. So those little red things on the floor, you need to either phantom cloak past them or get hit by this EMMI immediately. Oh great, I tripped that one. Yeah, those mines, their explosion will alert the EMMI if it hears them. Oh, yep. Seriously, come on, EMMI. Oh right, I have to lose it before I can go through the doors.